Hey yo, don't forget to hit that like, share, subscribe, and all that jazz for more tokusatsu content. Now thank you for your continued support. Now let's get into it. Yo, what's going on YouTube? This your boy Kamen Spike 2.0 back again once again. And today, people, today we're here for Kakusei Hunter OMegahorn episode 4. And in this episode, we get a lot of lore. We get a lot of lore dumps. We get a lot of information about who characters are, about a bunch of stuff that's going on, and basically about this world that we're in right now. And it's super freaking cool. Like we know what the Evil Alliance wants to do. We know about what Enkaku wants to do. Like, we're learning so much about this world. We learned so much about the world in this episode. You know, we know what Enkaku wants to do. He wants to bring back all the monsters. He wants to have them coexisting with humans again. We want to see what Shout wants to do, you know, with the whole just finding ancient artifacts and just being a treasure hunter. We know what Gideko wants to Gideko wants to do. She basically wants to find this person and basically find her sensei and find her original monster she had before Zenkaku. And also we find out that even though the monsters were all sealed away, they also had their memories possibly sealed away because they don't remember who OMegahorn was. They don't remember who Enkaku is. He was the king of all of them, so they don't remember who he is. And we also see the twins too. The twins are also off doing their own thing, their own little side quests and stuff. They're actually really intrigued on who Enkaku kind of is because he's not in the encyclopedia. He's not in like the monster like kaiju encyclopedia and stuff like that. So they're basically all trying to either find some new monsters that haven't been discovered yet, and also trying to get stronger themselves as hunters. We find out more about the Evil Alliance. They are led by Evil the Devastator, and basically he has taken over a good chunk of the world basically, and it basically has just made this big alliance type thing, and he's the overall leader of it. So that's why he just got so much power in all these different places. But one thing that had me kind of like asking, well, scratching my head, was how does Shout not know who the Evil Alliance is? You know, like if he's like this traveler and is this big treasure hunter, he goes to all these different places and things like that, how does he not know who the Evil Alliance like is? You know, like I feel like he hasn't like ran into them or heard of them or anything like that. Are you just out in the wilderness that much to the point where you're not in like a lot of cities or like whatever? Because the people bow to them when they come through, you know, like the people actually love them, you know, so it's like, how does he not know who they are? You know, that's one of my questions. But yeah, Gideko also, she never joined the Evil Alliance because she got her own stuff she's trying to do. Her words, she said, I got my own things I'm trying to do. But one other thing that was actually pretty cool, we got to see our boy Reiji. He got to fight. It was actually pretty cool. He actually fought the two guys that we had the double battle with in the last episode again. And since they brought back some really good information to Evil the Devastator, they basically decide to give them a chance to say like, hey, if you lose against Reiji, you guys are kicked out for eternity. Kicked out of the alliance for eternity. So they end up fighting Reiji, and Reiji ends up mollywopping them. He ends up using one of his kaiju because he has a lot of them. He has a lot of kaijus that, you know, Evil the Devastator has basically just given him. So he ends up using like this electric type of monster, and he ends up just using these electricity powers and end up beating them, and then he ends up walking off. You know, like he's like, all right, cool, I did my job, bye. And it just seems like Reiji just don't want to be here. Like he just don't want to be here, don't want to talk to these guys. Like he just not feeling it. Like, and I feel him, man, because I don't know, I wouldn't want to be a part of this alliance either. Like, you know, I mean, I'm not saying everybody's a bunch of schmucks, but at the same time, I wouldn't want to work for a guy. I wouldn't want to work for a guy named Evil the Devastator. I wouldn't want to work for that guy. But yeah, so now that, you know, Reiji kind of like did that, he kind of goes off on his own little leisure time, you know, stuff like that, right? Are they getting paid for this? They have to be getting paid for this. This is big. This is a big organization. They're getting paid for this. And Rage, you gotta have some money. You gotta have some bread. So, but yeah, now that Gideko is like basically kind of like joined Shout and Inkaku, and she asks them like, hey, you guys want to battle? And then, you know, she ends up getting in a battle with both of them, but she ends up leading them. She led them to like more like a beachy kind of area, because Inkaku is afraid of water. You know, he's a fire creature, so yeah, he's afraid of water. But he does get over his water phobia in this episode as well, and we end up having like a full monster fight in this episode. You know, nobody's using the power of the monster to like in their suit or whatever to fight or whatever. Like, nah, it's two monsters fighting this time, and I do like that. Like, she can also summon Zenkaku, who is her monster, the big swordfish thing. I don't think it's a swordfish, but I'm just calling it a swordfish right now. If it's not, y'all let me know what it is. But I'm just saying it's a swordfish for now. So yeah, she's fighting him, and you know, she's fighting, or Zenkaku is fighting Inkaku, and he's kind of Inkaku's having a kind of a hard time because of that, you know, the water-ish kind of area, and it feels like really does feel like a Pokemon type of like fight, because you know, she even states that, you know, it's not always about like, you know, monster v monster. It's also like it's also all about like the terrain as well. Like, you basically have a fire type Pokemon fighting a water type Pokemon in a water type of environment, so he's at a big disadvantage right now. But you gotta get over it. It's like having a Charmander fight a Squirtle. Like, it's gonna be kind of hard, especially if that Squirtle can do water. Especially if that Squirtle can do freaking Hydro Pump, Bubble Beam, Water Gun, and Aqua Jet. Like, there's a lot of water moves that's going on right now. So, but he does end up getting over it by jumping in, by like completely submerging himself in the water, and then using his fire powers to basically boil the water, but like boil it, and then while he boils it, he ends up blasting Zenkaku and getting him out of there. Yeah. but yeah, that's how she wins. Inkaku was fully just ready to like completely just leave Shout, because she basically, you know, she was like, hey, if I win, Inkaku comes with me, and I'm gonna be Captain OMegahorn. And then, you know, Inkaku was like down with it. He's like, if she win, me and your contract is over. And like, Shout's like, what? Like, what are you talking about? And he just ends up, and yeah, so he almost lost Inkaku in this episode, and that's one thing I'm scared of. We're gonna end up getting an episode where like Inkaku, like we might get 1 or 2 episodes where Shout isn't where like Inkaku's not with Shout anymore, and like because he lost a fight or something like that. Because I could see, because even Inkaku brought it up in this episode, saying that one day you may have to fight Evolve, the Devastator. You might have to end up fighting him, and if you lose, then he's probably gonna end up taking Inkaku from him. And now that Evolve kind of knows who they are, he basically just wants them to build up that little reputation that they got going on, you know, and it will possibly make his alliance even more glorious. So now he wants to see like how far can these two go, or can they make it to him. But yeah, also a little small stuff. The guys who got banished, well, one of the guys who got banished, he ends up going back to that village that he was, you know, enslaving people. I'm just gonna say it. It goes back there. He challenges Shout to a battle, but then we got our other our other dude who comes up, and I forgot his name, but he ends up battling this guy. Ends up beating him off screen though. I would have liked to see what monster and stuff that he ended up using, but he ends up beating this guy off screen, and basically, you know, him and Shout have their conversation and things like that, and now he's gonna protect the village while Shout is gone. So, you know, he's good, you know, we all right. But yeah, after Shout ends up defeating Gideko, he ends up basically giving Zenkaku back to her, and she basically tells them the story about like who she, like basically what she's trying to do, and you know, trying to find her original kaiju and her sensei, basically, and find her sensei. And we learned that Inkaku has like, there are like these 5 like these core monsters. They're like these core monsters that are like the alphas, you know. So, and we see, and the thing about it is, I think we see majority of them because, you know, Inkaku's one of them, and then there's this big bird, this big like three-headed bird that she's looking for, which is her original monster. And then you got the big long neck dinosaur, and then you know, that's the one that the old boy that our blacksmith dude is using. So yeah, there's some alpha big core monsters out there that are actually very powerful that we're going to see later on down the line. But man, this episode was actually pretty good though. I like the lore dumps. I like the information that we're getting. I like the establishing this universe and what it's about and what it's doing and things like that. I'm really cool. And I'm wondering if Inkaku, if whenever he does, you know, bring back all the kaiju and stuff, he needs all of them to remember him, because he did say that some of their memories have possibly been sealed as well. So, and also, who are these gods that he talks about, that he prayed to, and you know that, and also they haven't been answering him and stuff like that. I wonder who are these gods, or are we gonna meet these gods, you know? So yeah, there's a lot going on in this episode. There's a lot of stuff, and I like that we're establishing things, and you know, we know stuff. But other than that, you guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys think about this episode of Kakusei. Why do I want to say Kakusei Sentai? It's Kakusei Hunter OMegahorn. And this is episode 4. You guys let me know down in the comment section below what you guys thought about this episode. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And remember, as I always say, stay henshined.
Yeah, the shining golden sign.